If my parents were to see the trust today, I think they'd be amazed to see how far it's come. My name is Curtis Giesen, and I'm a son of Rowe Gayle Giesen. I was born and raised in Pasadena along with my brother Lawrence, and now live in New York City. I've been chairman of the Giesen Trust since 1982, the year my father passed. My father started the Giesen Trust in 1972 in honor of my mother, who had recently passed and who shared his passion for the arts. My parents were passionate supporters of the arts in Pasadena, certainly involved with a museum going way back to the 50s, focused on the children's, the teaching program, very innovative approach. That really was at the heart of what, when the trust started in 72, that's what it was about, was to have more children have exposure and experience to those artist taught classes. The goal of the trust is to stimulate creativity in young people. We do that by funding innovative visual arts programs, and our focus is on underserved Pasadena youth. When Norton Simon took over the museum in 74, the children's program was discontinued, and that is when my father started the Pasadena Art Workshops.
And then fast forward to the late 80s, in 1989, the Pasadena Art Workshop and the Baxter Art Museum at Caltech were merged together to become the Armory Center for the Arts.
For 40 years, it actually ran as a private foundation with a mission to support organizations that were offering children's visual arts education in our community. In 2013, the private foundation dissolved and the Giesen Trust became an endowment fund of the Pasadena Community Foundation.
Historians of our organization have shared with me that had it not been for Mr. Giesen, the Pasadena Art Workshop would not have existed, and hence the Armory would not have existed.
This year we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Trust, and we're very proud of the role it plays in Pasadena.
The Giesen Trust has been a really critical supporter from the very beginnings of our organization. The funders who take risks with us to create new things are really important to arts organizations, but organizations in general. Those initial funders that believe in new ideas and new concepts are really important to innovation and creativity.
We chose to partner with PCCF for 3 reasons. They manage the fund and trust administration. They have relationships in the community and ideas, and they give us a permanent home. And frankly, with PCF in the last few years, I think in some ways it's as vital and doing as good work as it's ever done. So it's been very exciting.
What's really great about an endowment is it's a renewable source of support for the community. So what it gives out this year is fantastic, but it's going to do that every single year. And so these organizations that are the beneficiaries that are doing this work can really count on the support of the Giesen Trust to further their mission year after year.
Giesen has been a consistent supporter of Side Street for as long as I've been with the organization, which is 20 years. What's really lovely about Giesen is they help us get programs off the ground. They support pilot programs, but they also are totally down to support programs that are ongoing and deeply embedded in the schools. My masterpiece is this K-6 program that connects grade level curriculum to cultural institutions in the city. I think that the Giesen Trust from the very beginning was really important in building a strong foundation of community-based arts organizations that are interested in working in the public schools. And my masterpiece is a really good example of how that strong foundation has built really strong partnerships. That curriculum has won multiple awards because there's no city that has that level of deep collaboration across the board on so many levels. My personal favorite public art piece in the city is the Robinson Memorial Heads. There's a lot of pride in that. There's a lot of pride in that those students can see themselves in that. They have civic pride. They bring their families back. They have their interactive guidebooks, and we get this feedback from the parents that are like, I went to go pay my power bill and then my kids showed me all this really cool public art. So I think it helps them feel like they're part of the city and be invested in the health of our community.
What I love about this story is the ecosystem, the arts ecosystem in Pasadena, and it takes a whole community to nurture and support an arts community. And in Pasadena, we're very, very lucky to have people like Mr. and Mrs. Giesen, the Pasadena Community Foundation, all of our donors, and the artists and the institutions. We all make up this arts ecosystem that is really flourishing here in Pasadena.
And then finally, what I'm excited about is that it's a lasting home. I used to think that after my lifetime, whatever, there'll be something that is dedicated to the children and the arts in Pasadena, and it's nice to know that it'll continue in some shape or form, thanks to PCF.
Since 1972, donations to the Giesen Fund have totaled about $500,000. It has granted about $2 million since 1972. That is the power of endowment. An endowment like this builds over time. It continues to grow and it continues to give. Under PCF's care, it will always be a permanent source of support for the arts in the greater Pasadena area.